You all sound amazing as well tonight, everybody. It's so good to have you joining us. If you don't know me, my name's Josh. My wife Renee and I are the pastors here at Anthem Church with an amazing team of other leaders and pastors who are here to serve you in any way we can, particularly at this time of year. I hope you've kind of caught the theme of the night, and it's very much just that outflow of generosity. Did you know something really interesting is that at this time of year, there's actually almost $1 billion spent in Australia on food and also gifts that end up in the bin. Can you believe that? That's a lot of food. That saying that our eyes are bigger than our bellies sometimes might actually be true, particularly at Christmas. But there's also about $400 million of that is actually presents that are bought for people that they end up putting in the bin and just not ever using. And there's a whole lot of reasons for that. And it's interesting when you think about that. It's kind of staggering to think about that statistic when you think about how much effort we all put into getting Christmas presents for one another, right? And the stress and so much energy we put into a Christmas lunch that much of it often goes to waste. And it's kind of staggering when you think about that statistic right there. And the reason is oftentimes is that people are giving gifts that they were not expecting and oftentimes don't really want. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you before. You've been at the Christmas dinner with the family and Auntie Sharon pulls out a gift for you and it's nicely wrapped and she hands it. Oh, do we have any Auntie Sharons here tonight? Hey, Auntie Sharon, how are you? We're not talking about your gifts. Your gifts are really good, Auntie Sharon, but we're talking about another Auntie Sharon who will often buy an oversized jumper that's 10 times bigger than what is ever going to fit you, and it's Britney Spears Concert Tour 2003 jumper that you're never going to wear out again unless you visit Auntie Sharon. And some gifts are like this. They are unexpected gifts that are sometimes unwanted. But then there are also gifts that we receive that are unexpected, but that mean a lot to us and are an unexpected blessing, an unexpected miracle sometimes, an unexpected gift. For me, a number of years ago, I received one of these gifts when I was about 9 years old. All I ever wanted to do was be the little drummer boy on drums. That's all I ever wanted to do was play the drums. How good is Elijah on the drums? And so the closest thing I could get to it tonight was them letting me sing the Drummer Boy song. But I wanted a drum kit so badly. I would ask Mum every year, Mum, can I get a drum kit? And she's like, no, it's too noisy and will wake the neighbours. And one particular year, though, she said, hey, we have a gift for you. It's a musical instrument. And I was so excited. And Mum pulls out a box about this size, and I'm like, okay. That's not a drum kit. Maybe it's a pair of drumsticks. Maybe it's a snare or a cymbal might fit in there. And so I proceeded to open up the box of this musical instrument that Mum gave me. And as I pulled out what was inside it, I saw this thin black case. I don't know if you know what is in this thin black case, but as I opened this, expecting drumsticks, I opened up the case. I'm going to get it. And I pulled out a flute. And I'm like, hold on, Mum. I asked for a drum kit and you gave me a flute? Why did you give me a flute, Mum? And she said, well, I love the flute. I thought, well, that's a pretty good reason. And I said to her, well, I just don't know if Little Flute Boy has the same ring to it. Like, I'll show you what it sounds like. but it's just not the same, isn't it? But this flute that I was given was actually a blessing in disguise. I ended up taking the flute. Mum booked me in for flute lessons when I was in primary school. And I go to my first flute lesson, and lo and behold, sitting across from me in the same two-person flute class was a girl I had a crush on in primary school. And so I immediately began to thank God for the flute, and I embraced this instrument. I'm like, I'm a flautist all the way. The flute teacher made the decision he said to us, you know what would be really nice? If you two could perform Greensleeves, that wonderful love song, in front of the whole school for us. And I'm like, yes, thank you very much. And so we proceeded to perform Greensleeves in front of the entire school. And didn't say this in the other service, but I will say this, it did not go well. So much so that my flute broke halfway through, and she ran out of the room screaming, I hate you, Josh Bradford. I hate you, Josh Bradford. I'm never coming back to this school again. And I think she married a drummer. But sometimes we get these gifts and they're like a blessing in disguise. And so for me, that was initially a blessing in disguise. It was a gift that was unexpected, unwanted, but actually was a blessing to me. And I think Jesus very much is, for many people, and was for many people at the time, an unexpected miracle. They knew that a Messiah was coming. It was prophesied. There was prophecies about a king that would come and set the people of Israel free and bring liberty to the captives, sight to the blind, hope to the hopeless. And most people expected this king to look a little bit different. But when Jesus came, he came in this place called Bethlehem. He was born of a virgin. He was placed in a manger, an animal feeding trough. In fact, we sing these songs sometimes and they're so beautiful. Silent night, holy night. It would not have been a silent night, I can tell you that much. There would have been cattle lowing and a lot of noises. And I'm saying this, whose idea was it to send a little drummer boy to a mum who just had a baby, right? But anyway, so it would have actually been a little bit messy. It would have been probably a little bit smelly. And it would have been really hard and difficult at the time. And so much so that a lot of people missed the moment. There were only a few people who were aware of this moment where the king that was prophesied came and touched down. Why? Because he came in an unexpected way and wrapped in an unexpected manner. I think so often the things of Jesus, the ways of Jesus, are not the way we often think they look. We expect them to look like this, and oftentimes they look like this over here. We expect them to look like a drum kit, but sometimes they're like a flute. They're an unexpected blessing. And as a pastor of community, I don't know how many times throughout the years I've sat with people who oftentimes find themselves in life in the middle of a smelly, uncomfortable, noisy situation, which at the time looks like all hell is breaking loose. But somehow, by God's grace, Jesus makes his way into that mess and turns that mess into a miracle. He transforms those situations. And sometimes it's easy in those situations when we're in the middle of those moments to miss what Jesus is wanting to do in the midst of it. And I just felt this year that there might be people who are part of our church community. Maybe you're not part of our church community. And the last season has not looked like you expected it to look. You expected even 2023 or the past few years to look like this, but they actually looked a little bit messier, a little bit smellier, a little bit more difficult than what you could possibly think that it could look like. And I think the invitation of Jesus for all of us is to turn our eyes upon him and see him in the middle of the mess and trust that somehow he will do what he promises to do. And the Bible says that he works all things together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. Time and time again, we heard Elizabeth's story tonight. I don't know how many, I could tell you story after story. Craig, I'm looking at you. I'm looking around the room. I just see people. Lauren, where are you? She's somewhere. There is miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle of people who found themselves in the mess. But as Jesus entered in, he turned that mess into a miracle. And so I just want to encourage us this Christmas. We're going to pray a prayer in a few minutes to invite Jesus into our life. But I just wonder if there might be some people who have walked through some stuff this year and it looks more like a smelly stable than the touchdown point of God. But if you think about it, Jesus turned a stable and a manger. Like we use this beautiful word manger. It was an animal feed trough. Jesus turned an animal feed trough into a symbol of hope. Jesus took a crucifixion device and turned it into a symbol of the greatest love the world has ever seen. Jesus took a tomb and turned it into a symbol of resurrection life. Jesus is in the business of stepping into messes and transforming them and turning them into miracles. So the invitation this year for every single one of us, come on, the invitation for every single one of us is to turn our eyes to Jesus. Trust that whatever mess we are in, whether it be good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, that as we turn our eyes upon him, we are going to see him do what he always does. And that changes messes into miracles. Unexpected gifts, unexpected miracles. That's my prayer for us this year. Speaking of unexpected miracle, I've asked Lauren to sing a beautiful song by Lauren Daigle. And this beautiful song is called Light of the World. And the words of this song are so powerful. And so I want to invite you to you might want to close your eyes. You might want to just look at the screen and just listen and let the words of this song speak to your heart. It's about the world waiting for a miracle and Jesus doing what he promised to do. Thanks, Lauren. Sing for us.